Hello everyone, and welcome to Past the Post. My name is Michael Adolphs, and we're going to go over the very best of horse racing from around the world this week. And mostly around Europe, and that's where we will stay, and that's where we will start. First off, in Ireland, which had the biggest race of the weekend, the Group 1 Irish Oaks, sponsored by Juddmonte. This was on Saturday the 19th and went off at 3:40 p.m., 12 furlongs, 3-year-old fillies only, 7 went to post, including the English Oaks champ Minnie Hawk, the big favourite. And she did not disappoint. Perhaps she disappointed some in not how easily she won. But she did win indeed, by a length and a quarter, as the 2-11 favourite with Ryan Moore in the saddle for Aidan O'Brien and Coolmore, wearing the Derek Smith colours. We Might Take the Long Way finished second. Coolmore runners finished third, fourth and fifth as well.
Turning their heads for home with 3 furlongs to go. Island Hopping nudged along in front. Tracked in by We Might Take the Long Way and Minnie Hawk. Now shaken up on the outside. Then Bay Connolly and Merrily is next. Followed by Butterfly Wings. And a couple of lengths. Then a Subsonic inside the 2. We Might Take the Long Way has taken on the inside. Island Hopping into a challenging position as Minnie Hawk is going to have to battle here. Racing inside the final 150 yards. Minnie Hawk has picked it up, leads narrowly from We Might Take the Long Way up towards the finish. It is Minnie Hawk repeating Epsom and the Juddmonte Irish Oaks.
Also on that same Saturday card at the Curragh, we had 3 other group affairs, including the Group 2 Railway Stakes for 2-year-olds over 6 furlongs, a race that is won by some big names in the past. Only 4 went to post, including Royal Ascot winner True Love, who towered over this field, and indeed in the running. Winning by 5 lengths, number 4 there, she was the 1-2 favourite with Ryan Moore in the saddle for Aidan O'Brien and Coolmore, this time wearing the Tabor colours. Puerto Rico, also for Coolmore, was second, while Power Blue and Learn to Discover rounded out the quartet.
Right on their heels is True Love, followed by Learn to Discover. Racing to the final 2.5 furlongs, and it's Puerto Rico brushing aside Power Blue, but coming there over on the far side, striped sleeves and cap, is True Love and breezes to the front and Learn to Discover. Racing just outside the final furlong and quickening up very smartly is True Love, and Ryan Moore have settled the Gain Railway Stakes in some style, is drawing well clear from Puerto Rico. Power Blue and Learn to Discover. True Love follows up the Queen Mary in the Railway impressively.
Next up, we had the Group 2 Sapphire Stakes, over 5 furlongs for 3-year-olds and up, a big sprint affair, and a well-matched field that often begets some Group 1 types. This time, Arizona Blaze returned to the winner's enclosure, number 5 there winning by 2 lengths as the 9-4 joint favourite. David Egan was aboard for Adrian Murray and Ammo Racing. Magira, the third choice, was second, while Songhai, 25-1 long shot, finished third. The other joint favourite, Rumstar, round up 5th.
Going along in the lead from Arizona Blaze. Ridden along is Edison Psyche, followed up Gear and Rumstar and the Highway Red, Songhai and Powerful Nation look back to last. Racing with a furlong and a half left to go. Arizona Blaze just picks it up, challenged over on the far side by Gear and then Rumstar. Grand Marquis fades, staying on from last is Songhai ahead of the Highway Red. But up towards the finish, it is Arizona Blaze and David Egan drawing away with the Sapphire. Second, Gear and Songhai in third.
Also on that same card, and perhaps the most impressive run of the day, was in the Group 2 Curragh Cup, over 14 furlongs for 3-year-olds and upward. A septet went to post, topped by Al Rifa, a Group 1 winner from 7 furlongs to 12 furlongs, who was getting his first staying test. He won by 5 lengths and did not disappoint, as the 4-5 favourite. Dylan McMonagle was aboard for Joseph O'Brien and the Al Rifa Syndicate. Shackleton for Coolmore Brandt and Aidan O'Brien finished second, while John's a Dream was third.
After them in 5th is Al Rifa. 2.5 furlongs to go, and it's Drawn to Dream from Harbour Wind on the outside, followed by Al Rifa, who looks beautifully poised. Then comes Shackleton, Queenstown, Oaksmall and London City. A furlong and a half left to go. Quickening up, Al Rifa down the outside has taken them all in a handful of strides, and away goes Al Rifa and Dylan Brown McMonigal lengthening their lead all the while over Shackleton, who's in a fight for the second with Drawn to Dream. But it's Al Rifa off the mark for the season, and the Michael John Kennedy Curragh Cup impressively.
A day later at the Curragh, we had a pair of group affairs, including the Group 3 Meadow Court Stakes over 10 furlongs for 3-year-old and up fillies and mares. 10 went to post, including German-bred Tasmania, who led the market. But it was One Look, the second choice at 10-3, who won nicely here by a length under Wayne Lorden for Paddy Toomey. Connolly Racing owns this one, who beat out Azada, an Aga Khan runner for Dermot Weld, into second. Tasmania, the favourite, wound up third. Joseph O'Brien, despite having 3 runners, could do no better than 6th.
Higher Leaves with a reduced advantage is almost rejoined by Indigo 5, 4 furlongs to go, then One Look. Nudged along is Limserbet and then Azada, who pokes up in between fillies, and then Uluru, Beechwood, Naomi LaPaglia, Tasmania and Soft Winds. Turning into the straight, 3 furlongs to go. Higher Leaves is the leader. Being pumped away in second is Indigo 5. Improving is Azad on the outside. That's the filly with the noseband. Then One Look. Beechwood next, followed by Uluru. And then Soft Winds and Tasmania gone on from Naomi LaPaglia. And fading fast is Lemserbad. Azada now challenges. Higher Leaves. After them is One Look. And then Beechwood. Tasmania is running on late. And then Uluru. Into the closing stages, it's Azada now coming to challenges. One Look on the outside and One Look leads. 50 yards left to go. One Look tackling a no trip. Regains winning ways in the Meadow Court.
She did it well, you know, she didn't have the easiest passage through, but Wayne was comfortable all the way, and she pulled out and she quickened, and look, it's nice that she hit the line strong and, you know, won the race well.
And getting her head down in a good manner, as we've seen in the past, that all stands to her.
Yeah, you know, I haven't done a lot with her since Ascot, to be honest. I've just let her take over. Had a small breeze on Wednesday, nothing flash, and felt that she looked well and she was ready to go, and she seemed to appreciate 10 furlongs in softer ground more than 7 3/4 in the round track and fast ground in Ascot anyway.
You had to go though and give it a go.
Yeah, look, I said it to the owners at the time, I thought it was the right thing to do. I thought she earned a crack at a race like that. In hindsight, the ground was quick. You know, the trip was probably short. The race was an exceptionally good race, but I'm not sorry we went.
Plan for stakes next target potentially?
Something like that, you know. I think she's a filly, she's 4 now, so we might run her a bit more than we would, you know, as a 3-year-old. Blandford, John Romney, the Opera, those sort of races.
Opens up a whole new world of options for her as well, and Beechwood, cracking return to action also. I'd say you're delighted with that.
Thrilled with her, look, she's waited for a bit of softer ground. She's just been taking over at home all year waiting for it. She was ready to run a nice race today. I felt that 10 furlongs was probably plenty, you know, sharp for her, and I think stepping up to 1.5 miles, 1.6 miles, even further, I think you'll see a good mare this year.
And one of the bigger names of the weekend was Diego Velasquez, back in action in the Group 2 Minstrel Stakes at 7 furlongs for 3-year-olds and upward. It was a cutback markedly in trip for the big horse, and he did not disappoint, winning by a neck as the 11-8 favourite. Ryan Moore was aboard for Aidan O'Brien, giving them another win. Owned by Coolmore, he wore the Derek Smith colours, beating out East Hampton and Mutasarraf into 2nd and 3rd.
Now being stoked up is Diego Velasquez, then Easy Mutasarraf, Chicago Creek next, and then East Hampton. And down the outside picking up is Queen of Thunder. 1.5 left to go. California Dreamer just headed one off the rail by Diego Velasquez. After them is East Hampton, then Queen of Thunder. Mutasarraf is next. Less than 200 yards to go. It is Diego Velasquez challenged late by East Hampton. They're going to the line neck and neck. Diego Velasquez.
Obviously, he had this tough comeback run, didn't work out for him, and he stepped down to 7 today, which is probably like his minimum trip really, but he showed a very good attitude and he's a lovely horse really.
Getting him in that forward position initially, dropping down in trip was probably key to getting him home.
Yeah, look, he's an uncomplicated horse. He can kind of be ridden anyway, but there wasn't, up by the filly, there wasn't much over pace, so he's uncomplicated and he tries hard.
More improvement to come off this?
Yeah, I'd like to think he'd come forward again, but look, he's won a couple of Group 2s and I've always thought a lot of him. I think he's a good horse and couldn't have a better attitude, so delighted with him.
Yeah, we were delighted with him, Fran. Obviously, up to now has been a bit of a mess this year. We went to Leopardstown to start him off to give him a run for Ascot, and it went wrong, and he got upset in the stalls and had to be withdrawn. And then because of that, I probably wasn't confident enough to tell Ryan to ride him good and forward in the in the mile race, the Queen Anne, and then Ryan gave them a chance and they hacked the first half of the race, so really it was over straight away after a couple of furlongs. And then obviously we had to come back, and we had it in our head that he could be a Sussex or a Jack Lamar or horse and all that. So when all that went wrong, we had to try to get back on track somewhere. This is a lovely race. It's 7 furlongs, maybe a little bit tight for him, ground a little bit easy for him, but he was in good place. So Curragh been riding him out, Dean's been riding him in his work, and Andrew obviously in charge of him, and Edmonton, they've all been very happy with him. So it was great to get him back. Ryan gave him a very good ride. He's very genuine. Probably he'd be very comfortable back up to a mile and then 9 and maybe 10 furlongs. So we can see whether he goes to a Sussex or whether he goes to a Jack Lamar, and then at the end of the year he could go back up and trip again, you know. So he's a lovely horse, very honest, brave, so all the things, and he's loads of experience now as well. So he's a horse that's hopefully could finish off very well.
A couple other races in Ireland we'll go over. Back on Wednesday, we had the listed Cairn Rouge Stakes over 8 furlongs for 3-year-old fillies at Killarney. 10 went to post, including Red Letter, decisive favourite and winner. Winning by a half length as the 8-11 choice, she was ridden by Colin Keane for Ger Lyons and Keane's employer, Judmont. Fiery Lucy, amid a big season, finished second. Aidan O'Brien's Ecstatic rounded out the top 3.
Straightening inside the final 3 furlongs, Ecstatic and Wayne Lorden just leading from ridden along Tamam Desert, Shamie Heffernan, Wannabe Royal, Dylan Brown McMonigal, and coming there on the outside is the favourite Red Letter and Colin Keane to come and just pick it up. Fiery Lucy digs in for Robert Weirty, racing inside the final 2. Red Letter challenged by Fiery Lucy. In between them, falling back is Ecstatic, and then she out to Tamam Desert, and then so to bed. Little between Red Letter and Fiery Lucy, less than 200 yards to go. Fiery Lucy over the far side from Red Letter. Precious little between them. They're closing in on the line. Red Letter.
What he would have done better, but no, she's promised that for a while, Gar. She's a filly we always thought a lot of, and we were disappointed coming out in Avon the last day, but as I said yesterday, Jessie's filly franked the form in there, so I'd say she bumped into one on the day, and it's the first time she's probably got an ease in the ground, which I do think she appreciates, and I think ease in the ground and open trip is where you'll see more improvement, hopefully.
Was the outside draw any hindrance at all, do you think?
Not really. I was always going to be positive. If anything, they probably didn't go quick enough for me, and I would have had to use her to go, so I kind of accepted it. She's a filly who'll quick pick up and then just lengthen. I thought when Rob came to, he might just do it for a bit of pace, but she's good and tough.
We're actually delighted, to be honest, because that was tougher than people give her credit for. She was drawn wide, she was carried wide. They didn't actually, what I love what Colin says after the race is they didn't go quick enough for her. He says she wants a championship pace, and when you hear that, it just brings back memories, the Thunder Kiss of the world, you know, proper Group 1 group placed horses as 4-year-olds, so something to look forward to with her.
He seems to feel that maybe going a bit further will see her to better effect. Was that your gut feeling? 100%.
He says she's definitely a mile and 2 filly. Take baby steps even to get further, but baby steps a mile and 2 opens up a lot of doors.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys had Group 1 aspirations for the start of the season, kicked off in the Guineas. Is she going to get there before the year's out, do you hope?
Well, we hope so, but as Ger always does, let the dust settle and he'll go and he'll talk to Barry and he'll talk to the family, and they will make a good plan, but I think it's a very, very good problem to have with a filly like this.
And last of the Irish action this week, we go over on Thursday to Leopardstown for the 652, the Group 3 Meld Stakes. Used to be a big prep for the Arlington Million back in the day. Now it's just a big race of the summer. Over 9 furlongs for 3-year-old Nuppert, only 4 went to post, led by Jobmont's Purview as the heavy favourite. But indeed it was an upset in the brewing, as Snellen, number 3 there, won by a short head at 16-1 under Shane Foley for Gavin Cromwell. Tom Porter owns this one, who beat out the favourite Purview into second. Galen and Lord Massousis rounded out the quartet.
And Snellen lasted the quartet, but very much in touch as they swing for home, 2.5 to race. Galen leads by 3 parts of a length to Lord Massousis. Purview to the inside looking for a run. Down the outside, Snellen stays on as they continue on, 1.5 to race. Galen leads. Snellen makes headway down the outside. Purview between them, heading to the furlong pole, and the outside Snellen. Purview in the centre. Galen under pressure over on the rail. Inside the final furlong. Snellen on the stand side of Purview, and they'll fight it out. Less than 50 yards to race. Snellen on the stand side of Purview as they go to the race. It's close.
she had a massive run in Ascot, and I just, even though there was only the 4 runners, I knew it was going to be run evenly, and kind of fell in her lap a little bit. But no, it's a nice spare to pick up, but good result.
Absolutely. When you get a spare like that, how much homework goes into it beforehand?
Yeah, well, look, you've been riding against these along the way as well, and obviously spoke to Gary beforehand, and he deeped me well. But with the 4 runners, it was uncomplicated. She likes to follow and take her time. She travelled into it nicely. We went even all the way, and we picked up again from the 5. So, in fairness, she stayed well. Yeah,
were you keeping one eye on the favourite on the inside as you made that move?
Yeah, Colin was waiting for the split behind Dylan, and look, my filly had come out, and she'd picked up really nicely and got a length or two on Colin, and she just held him off, thankfully.
Now let's head over to France, where we had some action throughout the week. At Vichy on Wednesday, we had the listed Prix de Juvenile, 7 furlongs for 2-year-olds. 9 went to post, led in the market by the Wertheimers Ceramic, but it was not meant to be for Ceramic, as Clea Chope won by a length and a quarter as the 5-1 second choice under Christian de Muro for the Escuder Yard. Ecuries Puglia and others owned this one, with Polly Shelby finishing second, and favourite Ceramic winding up 5th, 3 3/4 astern the victor.
As they turn into the straight at the moment is Mephitoire. So they head down the straight then towards the final 400 metres, and it is Ceramic on the inside of Siciliano. They are being followed in 3rd place by Canaleas. Polly Shelby is in the clear. Clear Shop is trying to get it a run on the wide outside, heading down towards the last 200. It's Canaleas, Siciliano. Over on the far rail, Ceramic tries to rally. Dark blue Jackie, Polly Shelby, and Clear Shop to the outside. Clear Shop has hit the front and is the one stretching on now. Clear Shop from Polly Shelby. Clear Shop, the winner, Polly Shelby.
Also on Wednesday at Vichy, we had the Group 3 Grand Prix de Vichy over 10 furlongs for 3-year-olds and upward. 7 went the post, including Alice's Mont du Soleil, who did not disappoint, winning by a half length as the 13-5 favourite. Mikhail Barcelona got his second stakes win of the weekend, this time for France's Henri Graffard. Casa Pueblo, in the Godolphin colours, finished second, while Woodchuck was third.
Leads at the top of the straight. Now there's a difference of opinion with Tito Mosen coming down the outside towards the centre of the course. That one being tracked by Good Gift. The red colours of Mont du Soleil has travelled well. Doing a lonesome furrow on the far side is Cambron. Heading down towards the final 300 metres. Pace cranks up. Cambron still there far side, but look at Mont du Soleil. Mont du Soleil is the one quickening up. Mont du Soleil hits the front of the 200 metre marker. Moves on by about a length and a half. Casa Pueblo and Woodchuck are both running on. It is Mont du Soleil the leader, being chased hard by Casa Pueblo, and it's Mont du Soleil.
On Thursday at Vichy, we had the listed Madame Jean Coutier, over 10 furlongs for 3-year-old fillies. 6 went to post, including a pair for the Aga Khan, but it was Al Ukta with obvious Qatari connections winning by 2 lengths as the 9-5 favourite, with Tony Picone in the saddle for Henri Pantal. His Highness Sheikh Abdullah Al Thani owns this one, who beat out Thordis in the Strawbridge colours into second. Meanwhile, the Aga Khan's pair, topped by Benamira, finished 3rd and 4th.
In front of Benamira, those two from a Tourdis, and then see the Aurora. Calamondra is under a ride, angling out now Pinatique in the green and yellow jacket. 400 left to go. Al Uqda and Benamira still holding the first 2 spots from Tourdis in the mainly white colours to the left. They're the leading 3. Calamondra is next from See the Aurora, and Pinatique heading down towards the last 200. Al Uqda in front now by a good 2 lengths, extends that lead into the last 100 metres. Al Uqda from Tourdis, and Al Uqda remains unbeaten, 4 from 4.
And last of the Vichy action, we have on Friday the listed Prix Jacques de Bremont for 4-year-olds and upward over 8 furlongs. 8 went to post, and it was a battle royale topped in the market by Dark Trooper. Bullis, though, would win by a nose in the end as the 5-1 second choice, with Ronan Thomas in the saddle for the Lerner Yard. This one's owned by Sheikh Khalifa bin Hasher Al Maktoum. Dark Trooper wound up second, while 10-1 Longshot Charoneya finished third.
will turn into the straight, entering the last 600 metres in last position. They come wide, coming down the centre of the course, and it is Tomake in front, a little bit loose on the lead as well. Tomake by around about 4 lengths now to Ozap being pushed along, then Bull Ace Dark Trooper to the right, to the left, the blue and white of Baba Cool, followed by Curragh. Ten Horns has got work to do. Agenstein is last of all. 300 metres left to go. Tomake is in front, but coming back to them. Bull Ace running on, so too are Curragh and Baba Cool. Dark Trooper also wants to say. Into the last 100 metres, it's all changed. Bull Ace in the centre, Curragh far side. Here comes Dark Trooper with a big run. It's going to be close. Bull Ace, Dark Trooper and Curragh.
We head over to Shanty, where on Sunday they had 4 stakes affairs. One of the big ones was the Group 3 Darley Pre-Chloe for 3-year-old fillies over 9 furlongs. A sextet went to post, led in the market by Elmo Racing's Cathedral, who was invading from the UK. But Rosa Salvaja had other ideas, winning by 2.5 lengths as the 8-1 fourth choice. Stefan Pasquier was in the saddle for Christopher Head. Akery, Frankie DeFoss and others owned this one, who beat out Cathedral the favourite into second. Relax was third, with Godolphin's Whataboutism completing the top 4.
Rosa Salvaje still with the lead. Cathedral now just moved to the outside by David Egan and starts to pick up positions, but Rosa Salvaje is still in front. On the near side, Cathedral, next to that one, Relax. Then between horses, Pied a Dam, right on the inside, Whataboutism. Rosa Salvaje trying to get away from the opposition and still leads by a length. Cathedral now under pressure, Relax in third position. Rosa Salvaje still has the lead and Cathedral hasn't been able to get on terms, and it's Rosa Salvaje still a couple of lengths clear, and Rosa Salvaje makes all, wins it by 3.
She was really easy today. It was easier because the strategy was pretty much going in front, and nobody wanted to go, so it was pretty nice for today for her.
And she dropped back down to 9 furlongs, so she'd won over further previously. So I had a quick word with David Egan. He said, we thought we were coming and your filly just didn't stop.
Exactly. She's really have it, and I mean, she's far better in this way with nobody around and everything. It's been an easy race for her, and she's quite valued now because she has been running very well at 2 and running back better like at 3. So yeah, it's really a very nice filly for the future.
And she is. And talk a little bit about her pedigree. She's American bred. Did you have any concerns about today's soft ground?
No, not because I knew that she was going well in it, and she just confirmed, so it's not an issue, the ground for her.
And going forward, will you stay? What would be a perfect distance?
It's tough to say because between the mile and 2000 she's pretty much on our ground, and we're pretty much going to aim for the Arcana Series race. We will see and discuss with the owners, and we'll see for the future.
Next up at Shanty, we had the listed Prix de Pépinier, a 10.5 furlong race for 4-year-olds and up, fillies and mares. 13 went to post, including the big favourite towering in class, Kisisana. She did not disappoint, winning by 2 lengths as the 9-10 choice. Mikel Barzalona got his 3rd stakes win of the weekend, once again for France's Henri Graffard, this time for Horace de la Parelle. Muddy Mui finished 2nd, a UK invader, while German invader North Reliance ran well to be 3rd.
Right up with the paces, Muddy Moy, then Kisisanu, who's rather locked away in centre field at the moment and won't be getting an out from Madame Jourdain. Doha asked to quicken up and moves towards the outside as Kisisanu, he's having to take a pull, has done, and now switches to the outer, and it's Zabil Light who's now gone to the front from Oiboa in 2nd. Kisisana out in pursuit with Madame Jourdain, but it's Oiboa. Here's Kisisana on the outside coming through to take them on, and Kisisana easily bolts away from them. Muddy Moy's going into 2nd, but Kisisana is quite a bit too good for the others, and Kisisana leads and wins.
She did very well. She gave me a very good feeling. First time out this season, she ran a bit fresh, and she has improved a lot since this previous run. She travelled very well. We were baby boxing at the beginning of the straight, and then when I give her a clear run, she really picked up nicely.
Today was 10.5 furlongs. I see she's got entries in the Jean Romanet over 10 furlongs and the Prix Vermeil over the 1.5 miles. Is she versatile distance-wise, or would you have a preference?
I think so. She won already over 1.5. She won very well today over 1.25 miles. I think the Romanet is coming sooner, and if she's in good shape, I think she will have a good chance.
In Deauville, and today's ground is soft. Is she ground dependent, or does she go on anything?
No, at all. Today's ground was a bit soft, and she went very well on it, and she won on firm ground as well. So no, she's not under problem.
Yeah, really nice filly. She's rewarding Connections for keeping her in training, and you've got the yellow colours on already for Mojid in the next. Made all last time in the Prix du Bois. How do you see things going in the Robert Papin?
I think things could be a bit different today. Last time I went in front on my own, it wasn't the plan, but I ended up in front and going nicely. Hopefully today we're going to go a bit quicker and be able to judge him a bit more. He showed his class to win the group race last time. It was still a maiden, but now we need confirmation.
The juveniles got in on the action in the Group 2 pre-Robert Papin over 6 furlongs for 2-year-olds. 5 went to post, including joint favourites Mujid and Tajej, but neither would really factor as Green Sense won by a neck here as the 3-1 second choice. Maxime Guillaume was aboard for Joseph O'Brien on this Irish Invader. Simon Munir and Isaac Suede owned this one, who beat out Super Soldier into second. The UK finished second, and Tadej, another UK Invader for Archie Watson, finished third with a clean sweep of the top 3 for Invaders.
Mujid travelling strongly on the outer of that one. Green Sense just being pushed along. Super Soldier looking for a gap behind them as Mujid is now asked to take on Tajed for the lead, and Mujid has gone to the front. Green Sense on the outer, Super Soldier switching here on the wide outside goes Imperial Maysen. Plenty of chances, and it's Green Sense who now goes to the lead. Super Soldier is in pursuit. Green Sense and Super Soldier running towards the line. Green Sense has won it.
She's really good. She's really easy to ride. She didn't pull, and she looks really good too. And Joseph tell me if you can follow one horse, it's better for her. She have a good turn of foot, and we didn't know about the track because the ground is a little bit soft today, but she win good.
Yeah, she won nicely up against the Colts. It was only a small field, but she was tough enough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not easy with the course. Okay, she have maybe 2 kilos off, but no. I have a good race. She can improve after this weight, I think. She looks good. For me, she's really good. She can win maybe Group 1. I hope so for Joseph.
The last of the Chantilly action on Sunday was the Group 3 Pre-Messidor, with 3-year-olds and upward over 8 furlongs. 10 went to post, including His Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Rashid Al Maktoum's Blue Blood, Curragh. Curragh won by 2.5 lengths as the 14-5 joint favourite, with Callum Shepherd aboard for Simon and Ed Crisford. Wearing the famous gold and black, he beat out Geography and Invader from Germany. Co-favourite Radari rounded out the top 3, while Sheikh Mohammed Obayed's Ice Max was 6th and Godolphin's Verbois was 8th.
Up on the outside, into 4th now goes Ice Max. Tracking Ice Max is Mahaba Yassanafi. Ridari in an unpromising position, the green jacket second last, as still Geography leads the way. Curragh bearing down at that one in second. All the others are now coming under pressure. Ice Max has got up on the outside into 3rd as Curragh now goes forward and picks up the lead, and Curragh goes on by a couple of lengths to Geography in second. It is leaving the others behind. Ridari finishing nicely on the outside, but it's all one horse up front. It's Curragh in the run towards the line.
Drawn in a slightly bigger field than normal towards the inside. I sort of used him a little bit early just to get out the rock, so to speak. And the horse next to me in Geography was keen to go forward, and I was keen to kind of just get to that horse's sort of slipstream, so I had the option of coming out, and from that point it was very smooth. He's an easy horse to ride now. He's super relaxed, and he does feel like he stargazes still in front, but obviously he was still very much the best.
He's a high-class horse. He's still lightly raced for a 5-year-old. Do you think he's still improving?
I do. I thought certainly at Longchamp at the start of the year that he'd returned a much better model. And Ascot was very forgivable. The ground was too quick, and it was a very hot day. And although he seemed to handle it fine, sometimes those things can play a part. So it was a real return to form here. He enjoyed getting his toe in, and he's up there with the best of them when he gets circumstances his way. It would be great to win a Group 1 with him. He's capable of it, I think.
And last but not least, we head over to UK this week over at Newbury, which had 3 stakes affairs, starting off on Friday with the listed Rose Bowl Stakes over 6 furlongs for 2-year-olds. 5 went to post, including a pair from Sheikh Mohammed Abayed, but it was Godolphin's Wise Approach who was dominant here. An expensive sort, he won by 4 lengths is the 11-10 choice with William Buick aboard for Charlie Appleby. Rock on Thunder and Amarin finished 2nd and 3rd for Sheikh Mohammed Abayed, rounding out the top 3.
Over on the far side, Kolkata Knight racing apart, but travelling nicely now. And then Wise Approach, William Buick just angling him for a run as the runners come down past the 2 furlong marker. Any 5 of these could win. Shaken up now, Amarin, taken by Rock on Thunder on the near side. Here comes Wise Approach, being nursed into it by Will Buick. Amarin's trying to respond, but Wise Approach here showing his class, sprints into the lead inside the final furlong. And Wise Approach is too good for them and some, and wins the Rose Bowl by about 3 or 4 lengths.
He ran a good race at Ascot where he was on a different side to the winner, and more comfortable back at 6, I think. And I like what he did there. It was a nice, smooth performance, and I think he's a horse who is getting better.
Yeah, I mean, he's right up there in the mix of the best around at this sort of trip. I mean, if Charlie said to you, what did you... I mean, usually Charlie's here and you have a chat, but if he was here, would you say, if he said, well, what do you think, Jim Crack at York and then Middle Park if all goes well and things like that? Is that the kind of horse?
I think that has to come into consideration for sure. He looked a good deal better than the opposition there, and I think he deserves to certainly have a look at those targets.
Difficult to know how good he is. I mean, is he a 2-year-old or is he one that you think will develop?
I think he will develop. He's quite a scopy horse. He's a big horse. He's obviously very natural from a very early on. But I do think he'll keep getting better.
At Newbury on Saturday, we had the listed Stevenson Stakes, over 10 furlongs for 3-year-olds and upward. 5 went to post in this one as well, including Shadwell's well-fancied Emfjar. But in the end, it was Carnival alum, Royal Dubai, number 7 there, winning by a length as the 10-1 long shot. Callum Rodriguez got his 2nd stakes win of the weekend, this time for Owen Burrows. Saeed Al Rahumi and Emirati Loco did win indeed. Rashabar Royal Ascot Victor finished 2nd, while Emfjar wound up 3rd.
Going past the 3 down towards the final 2.5 furlongs. Rashabar still on the bridle. Jim Crowley pushing now on Enfajar. Not a response just yet, but he's trying now as he comes under pressure. Here's Royal Dubai on the outside. Rashabar continues to motor on as he races up to the final furlong with Royal Dubai his danger, and he joins in on the outside. They kick clear of the others. Royal Dubai now is wearing down Rashabar inside the final 100, and it's going to go to the outsider. Royal Dubai for Callum Rodriguez and Owen Burrows wins the Stevenson.
It was a nice performance, obviously. He's run in some solid races and he's always been thereabouts, so it's nice for him to get his head in front.
What was the plan going out there?
We did obviously first run for Owen, and he said he hasn't had him long, but all the lads were very sweet on him, and it was a case of sort of figuring him out really. It was his first time at this trip for a couple of years, and basically just a day of learning, but nice to get his head in front.
Was that a pleasant surprise?
It was, but like I say, the lads were sweet on him beforehand, so we were to ride him with confidence and see where we landed, but I gave him a little squeeze at the top of the straight and I knew I was in the business then.
Excellent. Lots to look forward to today. What about the ground conditions?
Yeah, happy enough. I think it's quick side of good and should be fine for regional, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, hopefully back down in grade. He's won some great races this season.
He has, he's never finished out the first 3 in a Group 1 and he's been such a solid horse, so hopefully he can go well this afternoon.
The biggest race of the weekend in Newbury was the last we'll cover there, the Group 3 Hackwood Stakes over 6 furlongs for 3-year-olds and upward, and included regional, 2nd in the outcall sprint here. 11 went to post, but it was Rage of Bambi, a big long shot at 33-1, winning by a length and 3/4 for Charlie Bishop, Eve Johnson-Houghton, and Hot to Trot Racing and Partners. The big upsetter had King's Gamble in 2nd, the second choice, while regional the favourite finished 3rd. Dubayon Kadem, Elite Status, and Jaref finished 6th, 7th, and 11th.
Shaken up now is Regional, being asked to chase here. Rage of Bambi is getting into it and travelling very strongly on the near side. Over on the far side, Cardham, Ferris and King's Gamble launching. Regional, though, is sticking to it well, but Rage of Bambi on the near side is on for a massive upset here. And Rage of Bambi comes storming through and is up by a length or so. Rage of Bambi and Charlie Bishop, a big shock in the Hackwood, goes on to win.
We'd slightly lost the faith a little bit, but this time of year she always comes good. So yeah, I mean, her work at home when she's on song is exceptional. So we've always thought she had something like this in her.
Which makes sense why she's been so highly tried.
Yeah, I was just saying to guys, it'd be lovely to have her roll the dice at the top level at least once before she goes to do her next job.
Yeah, which is obviously going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Ground, what is it? Because she's kind of got varying.
We used to think she needed quick ground, and she went on good to soft last year. I thought the ground was good, a bit loose, just with that rain sort of in the last half an hour or so.
Over at Hamilton on Friday, we had the listed Glasgow Stakes up in Scotland, 11 furlongs for 3-year-olds. 7 went to post, led in the market by Saudi-owned Nahran. He did not disappoint here, winning by a nose as the 10-11 favourite, with Oisin Murphy in the saddle for John and Dady Gosden. Wearing the Prince Faisal silks that were made famous by Mischief, he beat out Arabian Force, who's owned by Sheikh Rashid Al Mouk. Tinarian was third.
Being shaken up to join Great David on the far rail. Arabian Force burrowing away against the fence. Nahran moving up powerfully in the maroon colours. On the outside, Secret of Love. Rogue Millions trying to peel out behind them, the red and white, as they come down towards the final furlong. And Nahran strikes for home in the Glasgow. Chased by Great David the far side. Square Dalbany, Rogue Millions and Secret of Love on the outside. All chasing Nahran, who's driven out. Nahran in front by over a length from Arabian Force and Nahran.
And we'll go back to HQ in the UK for the last race we'll cover this week. This is the listed Aphrodite Stakes over at Newmarket, over 12 furlongs for 3-year-olds and up for fillies and mares. 10 went to post over that July course, including Godolphin's well-regarded Spirited Style, who did not disappoint as the 5-4 favourite, winning by a length and 3/4, with Billy Loughnane, a rare engagement with Charlie Appleby and Godolphin, winning well here in the saddle. Swainyo was second, while Jane Temple was third. These second and third runners trained by John and Dady Gosden.
See just in time, Swainyo over on the far side and Jane Temple trying to battle back. Understudy isn't going to be able to land a blow tonight. Spirited Style is out in front, chased by Swainyo. Spirited Style a length in front of Swainyo, now a length and a half. Favourite Spirited Style wins the Rick and Mary Hambro Aphrodite Stakes in good style from Swainyo.
Improving off each run. She enjoyed the conditions today, the soft ground she really relished at, and I'd have liked to wait it. I hit the front a little bit sooner than ideal, but I had to go. I didn't want to get boxed in.
Because she took you there?
Yeah, I moved out of cover. The horse in front of me wasn't taking me anywhere, and I was aware that there was horses behind me that were going to get going, so I had to move a little bit sooner than ideal, and she'd have probably been a more impressive winner had I not had to do that.
How did you, I mean, with the three, you had the Ribblesdale second in there, who hasn't given her running necessarily, some reasonable 4-year-olds to say the least. Did you come into this thinking she's really going to have to be on her mettle to win this?
Yeah, obviously, as you say, Mr. Gosden's horse came in, bringing a good standard of form, and she hadn't been tried in any sort of stakes level of race. She's only won a novice, so it's a little bit of an unknown, but she took to it well, and she's still learning.
How would you describe the conditions out there? Because you mentioned the word soft there. The rain's come down. Does it really feel like it's taking some getting?
Yeah, it's the slow side of good to soft. It's probably not genuine soft, but it's hard work, and the ones in front went a nice gallop there, so stamina came into the play.
Now let's look at what's coming up this week on Past the Post. On Saturday, over in the UK, we have the prestigious Group 1 King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Stakes. Over in the USA, we have the Grade 2 Jim Dandy Stakes, the return of Belmont and Kentucky Derby winner Sovereignty, perhaps the top-ranked Godolphin horse in the world. And of course, we have to look forward to next week, the beginning of Glorious Goodwood, including the Group 1 Goodwood Cup and the Group 1 Sussex on Tuesday and Wednesday. We thank you for tuning in and hope you have a great week. This is Past the Post. My name is Michael Adolphson. May all your photo finishes be winning ones.